are back with our third and final episode of the Hunger Gang podcast. We are here with me, Anthony.
Me, Ansh.
Me, Ayub.
And me, Noah.
Okay, to start, I will give short summaries on the first 3 chapters of part 3. Start chapter 19. Katniss finds Peeta injured and camouflaged near a stream. She nurses him back to health in a cave, trying to play up the romance for the audience in hopes of getting gifts. Their bond begins to deepen in chapter 19. In chapter 20, Peeta's condition worsens due to blood poisoning. Haymitch sends a gift of broth, encouraging Katniss to keep up the romantic act. Katniss realizes she must get medicine to save Peeta. In chapter 21, the Game Makers announce a feast at the cornucopia, where each tribute can collect something they desperately need. Katniss decides to go despite Peeta's begging for her not to. She's attacked by Clove, but is saved by Thresh out of respect for Katniss. So, next, we'll have Noah, chapter 22.
Okay. In chapter 22, Katniss wakes up from being unconscious and sees that Peeta is taking care of her. Not a lot happens in this chapter. They can't go outside because of the rain, so they just sit inside their cave and talk about stories.
Okay. So, Arch, you do chapter 23.
In chapter 23, Katniss and Peeta, they ration their food because they have to keep it for a few days because they don't want to go hunting because if they go hunting, they're gonna have to face the risk of running into Cato or any of the tributes. And they also talk about Haymitch and how he will probably become their neighbor after they win the Hunger Games because they're gonna have to move to Victor's Village, a place where the people that win the Hunger Games from District 12 live.
Okay. So, you can do chapter 24.
Chapter 24 of the Hunger Games. Katniss and Peeta have discovered Phosphorus's death. But because of this, she died because of some poisonous berries. Because of this, Peeta and Katniss came up with the idea to maybe gather some, and in hopes, maybe trapping Cato and eating it. Their last remaining opponent is Cato. The Makers then dry up all the humongous lake, forcing all of the tributes remaining to gather up for the fun. Katniss and Peeta wait, and then Cato, he suddenly comes out of the woods. He didn't come out to attack them. He came out because a pack of wolves, mutated wolves, were chasing him.
Okay.
So, next we'll have Noah with chapter 25.
Okay. In chapter 25, Katniss and Peeta are fighting Cato in the Mutations. Eventually, Katniss shoots Cato with an arrow, and he slowly dies. The Hunger Games end, but an announcement is made that only one person can win. So Katniss and Peeta both try to kill themselves, but the announcement stopped them, and the Hunger Games is over.
Oh, okay. So next we'll have Arch with chapter 26.
So in chapter 26, after Peeta and Katniss win the Hunger Games, they are picked up in a hovercraft and flown back to the capital. And in the capital, they go to the training center, and in the training center, Peeta being taken away by some people, and she's screaming and kicking and stuff, but then there's a needle, and it hits her, and then she falls unconscious, and then later, she wakes up, and she sees all of her wounds have been healed, and she's actually clean because in the arena she was very dirty because she didn't take a bath.
Okay. Lastly, we'll have a U with chapter 27.
Alright. In chapter 27, Candace and Peter participated in the victory interview, where they had to make the illusion of their love story for the Capitol audience, because everyone was watching. During the crowning ceremony, the president he wasn't very happy and looked kind of angry because Candace and Peter, they disobeyed the Capitol rules. There's only one was supposed to survive, but they both did. And then after that, Candace realized that she was being monitored and had to stay on her toes.
Okay.
But then when they came home, Haymitch had to tell her to be careful because the Capitol's always watching.
Okay. So now we'll talk about what we think of part 2. Noah.
I think part 3 is a really good part. It has a good amount of plot twists, which makes it very entertaining. And it really shows how good of an author Suzanne Collins is. That's why I think it's a really good chapter, a really good part.
Okay. Next, we have Ouch.
So I really like this part because it's very good and it's overall very entertaining and fun to read because there's a lot of character development and plot twists along the way. And I really like this part. It's my favorite part by far, and it'll always be my favorite part.
Okay.
My favorite part, I like this chapter mainly because of all the interesting twists there are. For example, I didn't think that Cato would be so unprepared and would be running from something other than Peter and Katniss. But it was also very interesting and had a lot of plot twists. It was definitely one of the best parts of the book.
Okay. I think part 3 is very interesting and entertaining because of Katniss and Peeta winning and Katniss and Peeta rebelling against the Capitol. And also Dretch saving Katniss from Clove also helps. So now we'll talk about what we think will happen in the next book. I think that the next book will talk about Katniss and her trying to rebel against the Capitol, and her and Peeta committing suicide by threatening to eat poison berries. Also, I think there will be another Hunger Games that Katniss and Peeta will take part of, and that's it. So, and now we have Anj. What do you think will happen in the next book?
So I think there's gonna be a victor parade because they have to show the people who won the Hunger Games, and then after that, there's gonna be a lot of controversy around either the Capitol thinking what to do with Peeta and Katniss, because there's a massive a chance that they might end up starting a rebellion. Because now the districts know that they have the power to rise up against the Capitol, and now what's gonna happen might be Peeta and Katniss, they may end up getting killed because they're trying to start a rebellion.
It's true. I like that.
So next we will have AU.
Alright. My interest on the next book is probably that the Capitol will be very angry.
I think next we have Noah.
I think what will happen in the next book is that it's a very unique thing, a very unique inference. I think Katniss and Peeta will actually have a child, and that child will get picked for the Hunger Games, which will make the next book very entertaining and have a lot of plot twists. That's why I think that's what's going to happen next.
Whoa, that's kind of crazy, but I think that might happen in a later book. Because don't you think it's too early for that to happen in the second book?
Maybe,
Yeah.
but we don't know much about Suzanne Collins. All we know is that she's a really good author.
Okay. Oh, lastly, I'll have Ayub.
Alright. My influence on the next part is
Whoa.
basically just all of yours.
Whoa, it's on the next book, little bro.
Wow. Yeah, bro.
Where are you reading on it?
It's on the next part.
Nice.
Next,
Let's restart.
second book, little
My
bro.
Thank you. My influence on the next book is that the capital be very angry with Katniss and Peeta for disobeying the capital's rules. Probably start watching them, maybe doing some things. For example, killing their family. I think that maybe Prim or Prim's mother might die because capital, and they didn't really like Katniss because they didn't follow the rules. That's my influence.
Because capital. So, next, we will talk about our favorite characters.
Will we? 'Cause I don't think you are.
Oh my god, you.
I feel like I have to.
Okay, and next,
Wow. Now you can talk. Ma'am.
What was that?
Said you may talk now, sir.
That's what I thought, little boy. Okay, next, we will talk about our favorite characters. Ayub, you can go last. Okay, I will start. My favorite character might have to be Thresh, because Thresh saves Katniss's life, which that may have, chosen the winner of the Hunger Games. Since if Thresh didn't save Katniss's life, Katniss and Peeta probably would not have won, because Katniss would have died and Peeta would have died because Peeta did not have the medicine he would need. So that's my favorite character. So, Punch, who's your favorite character?
My favorite character has to be Katniss because she's so hardworking and she could have just left Peeta behind, but she didn't want to do that, and instead she decided to work hard and care for Peeta even though she didn't have to. That's out of spite. And I really like that, and it really warmed my heart. So that's why Katniss is my favorite character.
Okay, well next we will have a Noah.
my favorite character is probably Peeta. Peeta's my favorite character because even when he was in the dirt and stuck, he still had his same old humor, which made me very happy. And then whenever he got all better and Katniss helped him up, he helped Katniss too. So they basically switched roles. And that also shows his manliness and how cool he is.
Okay, so lastly, we will have Ayub.
Alright. My favorite character is most likely Katniss. My close second is Peeta. I like Katniss a lot because she really shows bravery and integrity. And I really like her because she's good with almost anything. And like Onshad, she could have simply left Peeta there, but she actually saved his life, and she's very considerate. That's what I like about her.
Okay, so now we'll talk about our favorite part in part 3. So to start, we will have Noah. What's your favorite part?
My favorite part is
Part 3.
my favorite part is when Katniss and Peeta are fighting cattle on top of the cornucopia. It's the first time we actually see Katniss and Peeta fight together, and it shows how they actually care for each other and how much they want each other to live. So even when Peeta's leg is all bleeding and stuff, Katniss focuses on killing cattle and helping Peeta at the same time, while also trying to deal with the mutations. That's a lot for Katniss to deal with, and that's why it's my favorite part.
Okay, so next we will have Punch.
The part about part 3 has to be when Katniss wins the Hunger Games, because it really warmed my heart to see Katniss win along with Peeta. And it was very good because all of that hard work Katniss and Peeta did together, it was very good, and I liked it. And when they won the Hunger Games, even though it was very hard, I just really liked it. It also made me very happy. It also made me go very happy. That's why I really like it.
Okay. So, next we will have me. So, my favorite part has to be when Thresh saves Katniss from Clove. My favorite part might have to be when Thresh saves Katniss from Clove, because since Thresh saves Katniss, ultimately helped Katniss win the Hunger Games. Because if Thresh didn't save her, she probably wouldn't have won with Peeta. Because Peeta would have died probably without his medicine and all his stuff. And Katniss would have died by Clove. Because she is mostly skilled with a bow and arrow. So, lastly, we will have AU. Lastly, we will have AU.
Alright. My favorite part of the entire part 3 is definitely when Peeta and Katniss were about to commit suicide. It just showed how loyal and brave they are. And shows a little bit of love. That's what I really like about that part. And it really showed just how much they wanted both of them to live. That's my reason.
Good. Very strange and interesting one. Okay.
Okay,
Alright, but you can be talking.
so now let's talk about some questions. Okay, we're going to go over questions that the audience might have. The first one is, why does the Capitol hold the Hunger Games? Anthony, how about you answer that?
Well, the Capitol holds the Hunger Games because they use it as a way to show that they are above all of the districts and they control them. And also, it is a great way of entertainment for the Capitol's residents, since they don't really understand what's going on and how it's hurting the tributes in Hunger Games, and how they're going through emotional damage.
That's a great explanation, Anthony. Okay, another question we've gotten from the audience is, okay, Ansh, you're going to answer this one. What are the different districts like? What's the difference between District 1 and District 12? Okay, another question from the audience is, what are the different districts like? Like District 1 and District 12. Ansh, would you like to answer that?
So, in District 1, everyone can live a luxurious life. You don't have to live with any worries about food for the next day, or how you're gonna put food on the table. Instead, you're just gonna have just a good life overall. But in District 12, you're gonna have to work every day. You're gonna have to work a very scary job of coal mining. It's gonna be very scary, and unlike District 1, where everyone lives a luxurious life, It's not like it in District 12. It's very scary.
It is scary.
Okay, now I'm gonna go in detail about.
Oh, is anyone gonna speak after this?
Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay,
Alright.
now I'm gonna talk about whatever district in detail and what they're known for.
Go, man, go.
Okay, first, District 13 is known for their nuclear weaponry, and it's also destroyed in a war, but that's what it's known for. And then, District 12, they're known for coal mining. District 11, agriculture. District 10, livestock. District 9, grain. District 8, textiles. District 7, lumber. District 6, transportation. District 5, power and electricity. District 4, fishing. And District 3, technology and electronics. District 2, weapons, masonry, and peacekeepers. And then finally, District 1, luxury items. Okay, any more questions audience might have, guys?
Thanks for watching.